Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be building a simple buffet website built with only HTML and CSS. We have kind of done the foundational, learning on HTML and CSS. If you've not seen the video, I advise you go back. It will kind of help you to understand what we are doing and make you, go along with us. So what we'll be building is just a simple buffet restaurant. So when you click here, the link takes you to the about. You will know about the restaurant, and when you click menu, it brings you to the food. You will see what the restaurant is offering, and when you click on the contact, it takes you to the contact as well. So, and this is the footer. So this is just a basic simple website, and I hope you follow along as we build together. Let's get into it. I have done the basic stuff. I have added the template, the HTML template for the head, the body, the title. So it's basic HTML template, and also the CSS, the style for the body, and the H1, and so we'll be moving on. The first thing we'll do is we create a container for the body that will contain our code. So it will be a div with a class of container. And then within the div, the first thing we like to do is to create the navigation for the web page. This is the navigation. So we'll put it in a div of class top. Close the div. Then we'll create another div for the nav bar. Alright, the next thing we'll do is we create the next first div that will hold the name of the restaurant. So the name of the div will be, we'll give it a class of left because we'd like it to go to the left. So the class can be anything, but I just want to name it left so that you follow along and understand what we are doing. Okay, the next thing is to create a href with an anchor tag. So this is anchor. So this is the href. So give it a class of bar left. And the name of our restaurant is vbuffet. Now create the link, other links on the nav. So those ones will be to the right. So create a div. We'll call it right. So we can copy this and change it accordingly. Okay, so the first one will be the about. The second one will be the menu. And the third one will be the services. The fourth one will be the contact. All right, so let's see. Yeah. Okay, so this is how it looks now. So we need to add some styles to it. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll add the style to the top, which is the class top. We'll add the position sticky. So what the sticky does is it will make the nav to be on top so that when you're scrolling the page upwards, the nav bar will not move. I'll show you what I mean. Then after position sticky, we'll add top 0. We don't want space on top. Then width 100%. After the top, we'll add a style to the nav bar. We'll add a style to the nav bar. This background color. Okay. Then we'll use height. 50 pixels. Then we'll add width 100% as well. Alright, great. After that, we'll add the style to the anchor tag. So add text decoration, none. What it basically does, it removes the line under the links. Color of the text, we want it to be white. Then want to set a margin of 10 pixels. The position, so we want this to go to the right and this to be at the left. So for the position, we'll do the right. We want the position to be fixed. Right will be 0 pixels. Padding will be 10 pixels. Then for the left, will be 0. And padding will be 10 pixels. Okay, so let's see how our style looks. So as you can see, it's well positioned now. So moving on, we'll have to put the image, this image. So that's the next step we'll be working on. So for the image, we'll start by creating a div. So make sure you're doing it below the closing tag of the navbar. So not after this that contains the whole thing. So you're doing it directly, under the closing tag of the nav. So for that, we'll start with, so here we're putting the hero image. So for that, we create a div with a class image container. So then after that, we'll add the image tag. So we include the source. We have to create a folder called image. Then in this folder, we'll need to like import the images to this place depending on how you want to do it. I have kind of imported my pictures. I got this from Google and just type, depending on the type of pictures you're looking for. So I've imported all the pictures we may be needing for this project into my image folder. Okay, so I'll then add that to my source in my image tag. So it will be image. Let me use this. Okay, here I'll put some buffer hero. Then I'll add the style. I'll add width of 100%. And the height of 500 pixels. And under that, I'll add a text. I'll use a H1 so that the text will be on top of the image. Then I'll add a class to the H1 so that we can style it separately. So the text is here, we need to style it. So I will be going to, so the first style will be the image container. I will use a magenta first. Ten pixels. Because I don't want it to hug to the nav bar, that's why I'm adding 10 pixels magenta. If you remove it, it's hugging this. So I don't want it to hug, so I'm adding a magenta of 10 pixels. Cover, so it covers the whole space. So for the text, I'll be adding a style to the text. The position will be absolute. Top will be 30 pixels. Left will be 20%. Font size will be 50. Then the color will be the color we used for the nav bar. Color of the text. Let's copy this. That's it. Okay. So it's too high up. Let's take it down a bit to the middle. Let's add some opacity to the image. Opacity of 0.9 to blur the image a bit. Okay, next let's create the main content, the body content. So here with the class name content. We'll slide the content. So it's those contents that will contain the rest of our page content. So we use a max width of 960 pixels. And we use a margin 0 auto. So this 0 is 0 for up and down, and auto is for right to left. So it automatically like give the same margin for both left and right. So within the content, we'll create the about section. So we create a div for the class about. About B, and with the ID about. With the ID about. About, we'll have a h1 with the class serve. And it should be about build there. All right, and then we'll have another h4 with the class serve. we'll style it the same with the H4. That's why we are using the same class. And here we state that we serve okay, and then we'll have a p tag. The p will have a class of large. Add some text to the paragraph, the p tag. So we'll give this a little bit of style. We'll move the text, the about to this middle. So we'll give it a little bit of text. So for the about V, we'll give it a text align center. Then we'll give it font size. Alright, great. So the next step is to add the menu. We'll add the menu section. Just directly under, we'll add we create a div here. Yeah, with an ID, menu, and ID. Menu. Then for the menu, create a H1 tag with a class, menu title. Then here we would like to add an image. So we'll create a div with a class, mirror1. Then we'll add an image. We'll add the source. So image. So image. We'll add an inline style for this with a width of 40%. Then after that, we'll add a H4. With a class of text gray. Here we'll write the type of meal we are showing. So this will be a breakfast. Okay, then the next we'll write the food name with a P tag. So here, so the food is bread, veggies. So here we'll write bread with some cherry tomato. And fruits. Okay, and here we'll add a H5. That would be for the price with the plus. Price. And here we'll write like 50. That's the price of the meal. Okay, so this is how it looks. Then we need to style it and then copy this. I'll copy this over into 3 places because I want to, set 3 menus. So I'll copy this. I'll multiply it. Okay, so I'll change the image. I'll call this brunch. The same size, just change the title of the food. The content of the food is just grilled meat, so I'll just change it. Then change the price. Here will be the meal 2. Here will be the meal 3. I do not need this. I don't need this. Here will be dinner. Here I'll change the type of meal. So dinner. So what type of dinner? Okay. So mac and cheese and peas. Alright, so I'll change the price. Alright, so this is how it looks. Then we need to add some styles to it. So with the meal title, we'll add text align. We want the text to be centered. Then we'll add the font size to be 20 pixels. Okay, so after that we'll add the style to the mail. We'll align it center. Alright, it has been aligned, so this I thought I targeted it. Okay, so available mail is menu title. Menu title. So next up, we'll include the services. We've done the about menu, so services is the next. So alright, so still within the content, all the while all we've been writing is within this div, the content. So still within the content, so add an HR. Then we'll add a div. We'll class we'll create another div. First of all, let's create a H1 with the class services. And here we'll add an ID. Services. Let's do just service here. So next we'll create a, we'll write the services. Next we create a div for the class service row. Remember, you can name it anything you want. Then next we create another div where we'll add our service. So the type of service we are doing is table service, table setting, false. So within the table setting, we'll add an image source. Table setting. Then the class will be table. Table serve. and the weight will be 500 pixels. So add style. Then close this. Okay. So we need to create another div within the service row div. Div with the class getTrain. Let's use getTrain. And then you can copy in some dummy text within this. This is just a dummy text. Within a P paragraph tag. Yeah. Alright, so it's line side under it. So let's type this. For the H1 service, let's align it to the center. And let's add a font of 20 pixels as well. Alright, so this is how it looks. We increase the width of the image to 980 pixels and we added some text. So let's increase the font size to 25 pixels. So for the contacts, we'll create a div with a class contact info. We'll create an ID contact. ID contact and we'll create a H1. Serve with the class of serve. So here we'll have a form tag. Then within the form tag, we'll have a target. Let's add an inline style, margin will be auto. Then the width The weight will be 520 pixels. Okay, then let's create a P tab. Within the P tab, we'll create an input class. Name. The type, it will be text. To be text, placeholder will be name, then required. So when you are filling a form, maybe when you try to submit and it's it's showing you a highlight that you've not filled some form, is because required was added to it. Then name. So we'll copy this over like so we'll change this to number, the second one. Of course, the type will be a number, and the placeholder will be phone number. Then the required will be a number. Name will be number. Then after that, the next one will be a date. Type will be a date time local. Placeholder will be date and time. Be a text. Type will be a text. Placeholder will be message. And the required will be a message. And the value, we'll add the value I want it to appear. It will be 2022 message, because since it's a message, we need the input field to be bigger. So for the message, we need a style with a height of 100 pixels. Yeah, the send button. So we'll create a P tag as well. And create a button tag. Then within the button tag, we will create a class. And type will be submit. And it will be to send a message. Send message. style our button. So first off, let's style the inputs. The input field. We'll style all the types. So let's style it with width. We'll add a background color. We'll add a margin. Border none. So the color has taken effect. So let's style the button. Background color. Sixteen pixels. 20 pixels. Then the color of the text will be white. We'll add a border none. We don't want a border for that. Then opacity. Then we'll add the cursor of pointer. Alright, so this is our contacts. You can fill your name unless it's a number. You can put the date and add a message, then the send. So yeah, this is, I reduce the width of the button and the width of the button and the width of the inputs. I wanted it to be that size. So the next and lastly, we have to do the footer. So for the footer, outside the content. So the footer will be outside of this content. It will be with the same level, at the same level with this container. So yeah, so for the footer, we create a footer tag. Within the footer tab, we create a class of fruits. Then after that, we create a href with an anchor tag in an anchor tag so that we can put the link for our email address. Mm-hmm. All right. So after that, we'll add a p tag with a class address. Here we'll add the address of the restaurant. And we can as well add another paragraph, p tag. We can say you can also contact us by phone at by phone. Okay, so that's it. We'll style the footer text. So this is how it is. So let's style it. Footer. Text align. Center. We'll add a padding to it. We'll add a background color. The same color. We are using the same color as the nav bar. Then so for this p tag, we'll add a color. It's just a simple basic HTML and CSS, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's just so basic, but if you encounter any problem while working on this, please don't try to reach out and I'll help to unblock you, and I will add a link to the GitHub where I'll post this in case if you want to like have a closer look at it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so I'll be one of the first people to be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you for joining. Do have a great day. Bye.